first of all, let's go back to a little bit to Sick, which was a really good record for me, but didn't receive the commercial success it deserved. So, is it why you decided to move forward and quit Century Media and join Ingle Rock this time?
Yes. Well, yes, Century Media was kind of a misfire, as if you understand that. It was, we were pretty disappointed how they just didn't really have the record out there available when we toured.
Yeah.
And, didn't really take out any ads or do anything. So, we were left to scramble. But the good thing about it is we just toured, and we became tighter as a band. We kind of had to go through that tough period with Century Media and getting out of the deal. And as a band, that stuff's hard on you. You make a record that you really love and believe in, and if you don't have a good partner in a record company, you can get lost. And so I think it just, it's that sort of thing. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And we just became stronger. We wrote this record. It was, kind of as we were on the road and becoming a better and tighter band and getting used to each other. And this is the first Loaded record that we've made coming off of a tour, back-to-back records.
Yeah. Totally.
And I think it, for me at least, as a band member and being inside the band, it seems like a really focused record. I was a big fan of the Sick record too, and I think it was Eagle is gonna re-release Sick. I think that's at some point here in the summer. But this
cool.
record, The Taking, is really sort of an adventure, and really it was really fun to make with Terry Date. It was really kind of an honor to make a record with Terry, especially a Loaded record. He really loves this band, and it's been great.
Yeah, and Terry being from Seattle, I guess, it really fits with that kind of Seattle vibe that Loaded gets. Yeah.
Everything fit, it fit. That's a good word for it. Everything just kind of worked out perfectly.
And yeah, you there's a song, Executioner Songs, which was already on the Wasted Heart EP.
Yeah.
So yeah, why have decided to use it once again?
Yeah. Because on the Wasted Heart EP, it was a limited edition.
Mm-hmm.
There was only 7,500 copies made.
Okay.
And nobody really knew of that. Hardcore fans knew of what the EP, mm-hmm. but it was a song that we recorded back when we did all the songs for Sick, and we put it on the EP. We needed some songs on the EP that were not going to be on the record, and it was kind of a shame that Executioner's Song wasn't on the Sick record. I think once the EP came out, we were like, oh shit, we should have saved Executioner's Song, and it was live. It's one of our People love that song live.
Yeah, it's great.
And it never really got a fair shake. So when we were recording with Terry, it's just like, it's heavy. He records guitars and drums like really heavy and dry, and we're like, fuck it, man. Let's just try recording Executioner's Song with him. And
yeah, it's a good enhanced version, by the way.
It's a good version, and not, the wider public doesn't really even know there was a Wasted Heart EP. So, you always hope that this is going to be the record. Like, okay, we're going to, these days it would be great if you sell 50,000 copies. That's a success these days.
Yeah.
And Executioner's Song, I think, is a really key component to our band. And so we decided to put it on the record.
Okay, cool. And like you said, there's some darker and heavier moments on this record, like songs like Lords of Abaddon, Execution Songs, obviously, Follow Me to Hell, stuff like that, So, and these are any common theme or what kind of topic lyrically are you speaking about,
Well, yeah. again, we all experienced something on tour. There was a guy on our bus, on our crew, and I don't, yeah, I'll just say there was a guy on our bus, and his wife, and we're friends with both of them, good friends with both of them, and they were married, and they started going through kind of a hardcore breakup, and because we were all together on the bus and we know the wife, we couldn't really we wouldn't take sides, or or any of that kind of thing. We just had to kind of observe the thing, and through all the stages, sort of the heartbreak, the not being honest with the other person and yourself probably, and the anger, and what happened with this particular couple. They got divorced, and they became better friends ever after they got divorced. And so that's kind of where We Win comes in. So you see, like, the song's Easier Lying, and She's an Anchor. It wasn't meant to be a concept record, but it kind of turned out that it was a concept record about this relationship that we observed falling apart. And the thing is, when you can't be part of it, we all started writing songs, and like Easier Lying, Mike Squires turned in, he wrote the lyrics to that song, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the record lyrically. And we could, all the different sort of stages. The anger is like Your Name, and just kind of fucking screaming and yelling at nobody and everybody all at once. And Wrecking Ball, it's pretty self-explanatory. So it's almost a concept record.
Okay. And so this time your wife wasn't like a subject of inspiration, because I remember like on Sick you wrote like IOU and Wasted Heart for her,
Yeah. I try to get away, I mean, my wife, who I love to death and will always, I could write a million songs about her, but I don't think, that's probably a different record. It's not a low, I wanted to get away from writing about, I like using personal experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to hell and back, and, I think we all have, in our own personal ways. So I can draw from those experiences I've been through and put them into these songs. So they're all like from almost a third person
perspective.
Aspect, yeah.
Okay. And and I think you're a sports fan, especially about teams from Seattle. So how was it for you to play at the halftime of the Seattle Seahawks game,
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great, for this band, it's like all of a sudden we're getting these things, like playing at halftime playing halftime at an NFL game is a big deal in America.
Yeah.
It's as big as it gets, and there's 70,000 people there, and it's on TV, and so I think these kinds of things have it's a good omen for this band. So far, I really like this record company we're working with, and they've been really great, and they've already spent more money on marketing and promotion than the record's not even out.
Yeah.
They have, and they spent more money than Century Media did the whole time. So there's good omens around this band and this record. And what I do, I just go and work as hard as I can, and because I really love what I do. And
something really cool happened last year when you played with the current lineup of Guns N' Roses, And so how was it for you? Was it weird, like, to play on stage without Slash and co, but to play once again with Axl should have been cool, So
it was fine. Yeah. I mean, I know those guys in that band. I've known Tommy Stinson for fucking, I don't know, 30 years. We played a gig together back in 1983 or something like that when he was in the Replacements and I was in a band called 10 Minute Warning. So And Bumblefoot I've known for, Bumble came and played with Loaded in New York and someplace else, Long Island, and Frank I've had him over to my house for dinner. I know all those guys.
Okay.
And so it wasn't weird in that respect.
Yeah.
It was. I just arrived to London. I was coming to London for a separate business, and just turned out, that I was in the hotel room next to Axl's, and it was, sometimes that stuff's meant to happen. Like, I was glad, I suddenly realized, okay, we're in the hotel rooms next to each other. I'm just going to go over there. We hadn't talked for a long time, and it was too long, and it was great. We had a really nice time together, and it ended up that night. I just went down to the gig with Axl. I had no intentions of playing. I was really jet lagged.
Yeah.
I was drinking like Red Bull to stay awake, and next thing I know, I'm on stage and I'm playing "You Could Be Mine," which I didn't even remember. I haven't played this song since 1993. But I made my way through the song, and I think people were really free. As soon as I saw the look on people's faces in the audience, I was like, oh boy, this is going to be, people are going to, I'm going to be asked about this for the next fucking 5 years.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But it was really, quite an innocent thing. No big deal.
Yeah. And you were also briefly a part of Jen's Addiction, so did you have the time to write some songs with them for the next album?
That's what I went in there for. I went in to help them write for their new record. Mm-hmm. And I never joined the band. I just came in and helped them write. And I played a few gigs with them. Played one in Spain and one in somewhere, Holland. And played at the Roxy with them and just kind of helped them out for a little bit.
Do you miss like a basketball team like the Seattle Supersonics in Seattle?
Oh yeah, you are a sports guy.
I'm an NBA guy, yeah. But
you are, yeah. Do I miss my Sonics? Oh my fucking god, yeah. Are you kidding?
Yeah, especially in the
Thunder.
Thunder.
It's criminal what happened, and I had season tickets. I was like one of those guys. I didn't go to every game, but I had season tickets, and I would go to a lot of games.